horizontally. Here it is, this is thalamus, this is caudate nucleus, or what is it?
Insula.
Look here. If we cut here, we will see head, that is head of caudate nucleus, only head. Because caudate nucleus consists of head, body and tail. Here only head. This is thalamus, that is thalamus. Laterally, if we cut here, this is lateral side, that is cortex of insula, clear? And we will see the same. This is nucleus lentiformis, and this is another nucleus is claustrum. Yes, good. And three basal nuclei you need to know. First, that is corpus striatum. Corpus striatum, it include caudate and lentiformis nucleus. Between them, we can see internal capsule, capsula interna, that is white matter, white matter which has projectional fibers. And caudate and lentiform nucleus together, that is first basal nucleus, corpus striatum. Why it is one nucleus? Because if we continue to cut brain in lower, in ventral part, caudate nucleus, they join together with lentiform nucleus, and it will one gray matter in ventral part. In dorsal part, between them present white matter. That is why in dorsal part we speak about caudate and lentiform nucleus, but together they forms
First
corpus
basal
striatum, first basal nucleus. Second basal nucleus, that is claustrum, gray matter between nucleus lentiformis and cortex of insula. And last, it is impossible to show in one level. That is why here it is absent. But if we cut temporal lobe, in lower part of temporal lobe here, inside of temporal lobe, we found another nucleus, that is amygdaloid body. Amygdaloid body. That is three basal nucleus, corpus striatum, claustrum, and amygdaloid body. And I already said that corpus striatum consists of caudate and lentiform nucleus. Caudate nucleus has head, body and tail. And lentiform nucleus subdivides into three parts with the help of white matter. And peripheral part of nucleus lentiformis, it has name putamen. And two middle parts, this is globus pallidus. It is globus pallidus lateralis and globus pallidus medialis. In general, that is globus pallidus and putamen. In physiology, we speak about striopallidar system. In anatomy, corpus striatum. In physiology, striopallidar system. In this case, strio, that is caudate nucleus and putamen, and pallidum, that is another part. Striatum and pallidum, that is striopallidar system in physiology. This striopallidar system, that is part of extrapyramidal system. Today you know that we have pyramidal tracts or pyramidal system. It starts from gyrus precentralis and lobulus paracentralis. They are tractus cortica
spinalis and corticonuclearis.
And striopallidar extrapyramidal system, they are all another descending tracts. Rubra spinalis, tecta spinalis,
spinotectalis.
No, not spinalis. From brain to spinal cord, rubra spinalis, tecta spinalis, vestibula spinalis, olivospinalis, and reticulospinalis. And this striopallidar system, it is also part of extrapyramidal. Next time I will draw a diagram of extrapyramidal system, and we will speak one again about this striopallidar system. Clear?
Yeah.
Well, Now, white matter. White matter consists of three types of fibers. Associative fibers in one hemisphere. Between right and left hemisphere, we have commissural fibers. They join right and left commissura. And projectional fibers, they join together hemisphere with lower parts of brain and with the spinal cord.
Okay.
Associative fibers, you can see in this model. Look here. Associative fibers we subdivide into short and long. Short fibers between nearest gyri. They are fibra arcuata cerebri. Fibra arcuata cerebri between nearest gyri. And long associative fibers, for example, from frontal lobe continues to parietal and finish in occipital.
Yes.
This is fasciculus longitudinalis superior. Between temporal lobe and occipital, we have fasciculus longitudinalis inferior.
Inferior.
Between frontal, parietal, and temporal, fasciculus uncinatus, and inside of, who remember what is this gyrus?
Gyrus singulae.
He is gyrus singuli, then
Isthmus. Then gyrus
parahippocampalis,
and
uncus.
together,
Fornicatus.
gyrus fornicatus. And you can see that inside of gyrus fornicatus we have cingulum, that is white matter inside of gyrus fornicatus, cingulum. It is also long associative fibers.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
commissural fibers. Commissural fibers, they are joined together opposite hemisphere, and largest commissura, that is what?
corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum consists of some parts.
Genus.
This is genus,
Genus.
corporis callosi. From genum, this is rostrum,
Rostrum.
corporis callosi. It is
Trime.
trunk or body.
Trunk of corpus.
Truncus
Corpus
corporis
callosi.
and posteriorly splenium
Splenium.
corporis callosi. This corpus callosum, it's joined the same structures in opposite hemisphere. For example, gyrus precentralis in this hemisphere through corpus callosum joined with gyrus precentralis in opposite. Post-central with post-central gyrus. Superior
lobe.
temporal lobule with superior. Inferior temporal with inferior. Clear? The same. Superior frontal with superior. Middle frontal with middle. All structures in right and left hemisphere join together through corpus
Corpus
callosum.
callosum.
That is main commissural fibers in brain. Another commissura, you already know, we speak about this commissura when we discuss third ventricle,
Anterior
commissura
cerebri
cerebri
anterior.
This commissura join together olfactory lobes.
Okay.
That is bulbus,
Tractus and triangle. And anterior perforated substance.
And last commissura, that is, look here, this is fornix. You already know that fornix anteriorly continues into what? Columna fornices. And columna fornices finish in mammillary body.
Yes.
And posteriorly,
Crura.
yes, crura
Fornices.
fornices. Posteriorly, crura fornices. Look here, this is crura fornices, which goes to hippocamp and makes fimbria hippocampi on the medial wall of hippocamp. And now, both right fornix and left, both fornix join together here this is body of fornix.
Yeah.
A body of right and left fornix join together with the help of commissura fornices. Commissura fornices. This commissura join together with the help of this commissura. Right and left hippocamp join together.
Okay.
they are commissural fibers. And last, they are projectional fibers. All projectional fibers passes through internal capsule. And it has anterior horn, posterior horn, or more better, cruise. Anterior cruise, posterior cruise, and knee of internal capsule. Genu capsula interna. Anterior cruise has two tracts. First is tractus corticothalamicus, from brain cortex goes to thalamus. In new classification, it is absent in your textbook. That is anterior thalamic radiation, radiatio thalami anterior. But you can answer like in your textbook. Tractus corticothalamicus. Number 2, if you remember in midbrain, what is most
frontopontinous.
Number 2, that is tractus frontopontinus. Next is number 3 here.
Corticospinalis.
Corticospinalis is here.
Corticonuclearis.
Number 3, tractus corticonuclearis. Number 4,
corticospinalis.
Next, this fifth tract, that is tractus thalamocorticalis. From thalamus goes to brain cortex. In new classification, that is central radiation of thalamus. But you will answer tractus thalamocorticalis. Number 6. Here it is. We have, if you remember, occipital pontinus. Here it is. Fibers from occipital lobe goes to thalamus, from temporal and from parietal also.
Yes.
And last two tracks, number 7 and 8, this is central optic tract, and here it is central acoustic. Number 7, radiatio optica, and number 8, radiatio acoustica. This is auditory tract, and this is visual tract. Optic, visual, yes. Radiatio optica and radiatio acoustica. This is auditory symbol. They are projectional fibers. Some of them ascending, goes to brain cortex, another descending. From brain cortex goes to pons or spinal cord or
medulla oblongata.
Yes. What else in this diagram? I put here number 9, head of caudate nucleus, number 10, thalamus, number 11, whole this structure. This is nucleus lentiformis, and it consists of putamen, and number 13, lobus pallidus, medial and lateral. White matter between putamen and claustrum, I put here number 14, that is external capsule. It was internal. This is external capsule. And laterally from claustrum, between claustrum and cortex of insula, this is most external capsule. In Latin, it is capsula extrema. And 16, that is cortex of insula. That is basal ganglions and internal capsule in this diagram. Well, next, lateral ventricle. Lateral ventricle. Lateral ventricle, that is cavitas in hemisphere. We have two hemispheres, that is why two lateral ventricles. Which of them is first and which is second? What do you think? Where first and where second ventricle? First in left hemisphere and second in right hemisphere. And each lateral ventricle consists of 3 horns. In frontal lobe, anterior horn. In occipital lobe, posterior horn. In temporal lobe, inferior horn. And in parietal part, in lobe, we have central part. 3 horns, anterior, posterior and inferior, and central part. Each horn and central part, you need to know walls of these horns. For example, anterior horn, middle wall, that is transparent septum,
Septum
pellucidum. And lateral wall, that is head of what? Head of
caudate nucleus. Okay.
It is lateral wall. And superior wall, that is corpus
callosum.
callosum. Now, central part. Inferiorly, here it is dorsal surface of thalamus. And the same inferiorly and laterally, that is body of caudate nucleus. And superiorly, one again, that is corpus callosum. Posterior horn in occipital lobe. Medial wall of this horn has eminence from sulcus calcarinus. This sulcus on external surface, it press to posterior horn and makes here it is
Eminence.
yes this is it has name calcar avis, that is on the medial wall of posterior horn. Superiorly, fibers of corpus callosum, these fibers of corpus callosum, posteriorly makes tapetum that is like cover of superior wall of posterior horn. And last, inferior horn. Anterior and medial wall, anteriorly and superiorly, that is tail of caudate nucleus. Medially, that is hypocamp. And inferiorly, this eminence, that is eminentia collateralis, because on external surface, sulcus collateralis, then it continues into sulcus renalis, and this eminence has name eminentia collateralis.
Okay.
And cerebrospinal fluid from lateral ventricle goes to what?
Telechloride
It produces with the help of telechloride. The telechloride is the same present in lateral ventricle. And from lateral ventricle, cerebrospinal fluid goes to third ventricle through what?
Commissure.
No,
cerebral aqueduct.
No, anterior wall of the third ventricle has
Interventricular
foramen.
Lateral and
Yes.
third
We have,
connection.
Yes, connection between third and lateral. We have two interventricular foramen. One is here and another here, because two lateral ventricles. Interventricular foramen comes to third ventricle. From third ventricle, CSF goes through cerebral aqueduct into fourth ventricle. One way from fourth ventricle, it can go to spine in central canal, but central canal is blind. There is no enter from central canal. That is why cerebrospinal fluid goes back to the fourth ventricle, and it leaves fourth ventricle through what? No, in roof of the fourth ventricle, we have three openings.
Yes.
One of
Lateral,
them,
two lateral and one medial.
and one median, yes. Apertura mediana,
and
ventriculi quarti, and apertura lateralis, ventriculi quarti. And through these three openings, CSF goes to what? Subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space. Some words. If you remember in spinal cord, this is vertebral canal. Here it is spinal cord. And here is pia mater. Then here it is dura mater. And below of dura mater, here it is arachnoidea. Yes, arachnoidea. Who remember what is the name of space between vertebral canal and dura mater? Epidural space. And what is in this space?
The fiber, choroid venous plexus.
Venous
Plexus and
fat. In epidural space. Now, in skull, this is roof of the skull, for example, parietal bones. This is dura mater, and look here. There is no space between dura mater and bone, they fuse together without space. There is no space here. That is why epidural space in skull is absent.
Okay.
In vertebral column, we have epidural
space.
with fat and venous
Venous
plexus.
plexus.
Here it is, there is no space, but in some places, between dura mater and bones, we have sinuses, yes. And in these sinuses, what present? Venous blood, yes.
Yeah.
And these two layers, the same, fuse together, but inferiorly the same, we have space. This is superior
sagittal sinus and inferior sagittal sinus.
Look here.
And sinus rectus.
And what is the name of this structure which is
That connects.
Rectus.
which is no, this dura mater makes falx
cerebri.
Cerebri.
It's between right and left hemisphere.
Yeah.
Look here. This is that is roof of the skull,
Yeah.
parietal bones. That is dura mater, and you can see here it is broken, but this is falx cerebri,
Yes.
and this sinus between dura mater and parietal bone, that is
superior sagittal sinus.
and inferior border of falx cerebri here inferior sagittal sinus.
Yeah.
Who remember what is this part of dura mater? This is tentorium cerebelli.
Tentorium cerebelli.
Because below of this structure here we have cerebellum. That is why this sinus between falx cerebri and tentorium cerebelli, this is, what is this sinus?
Rectus.
Yes, sinus
Sinus rectus.
Stretch sinus, sinus rectus. And that is inferior sagittal sinus. Blood from inferior sagittal sinus continues into sinus rectus, and sinus rectus opens into this place. What is it?
The prominent quadra.
Listen to me. You're right. In bone, that is protuberans acceptalis interna. But between this protuberans and dura mater, we have confluence sinus. And blood from sinus rectus comes to this confluence. And superior sagittal sinus, the same, opens into confluence. From confluence, then blood goes to which sinus? Who remember?
Transverse
sinus. From transverse, it continues into
occipital. Temporal na to.
Sigmoid sinus.
Sigmoid sinus.
And sigmoid sinus opens into jugular foramen.
Yeah, jugular
And
foramen.
this is beginning of internal jugular vein.
Okay,
yes?
yeah.
Another way from confluence, this is
It's occipitalis.
occipital sinus. Occipital subdivides into two marginal, sinus marginalis, marginal sinus. Left and right marginal sinus, and marginal is the same, opens into jugular foramen.
Yes.
It is. Who remember what is this sinus along of lesser veins of sphenoid bone? Sinus
Palatina.
almost. Spheno
Parietal.
parietal, sphenoparietal, sinus sphenoparietal. This is parietal bone.
Yeah.
You said palatinus.
Is foramen
Palatin- Now it is not here. Sinus sphenoparietal. Sphenoparietal sinus. This sinus continues into which sinus? Laterally from sella to
Sinus
Caroticus.
cavernosus.
We forgot.
But you are right. That internal carotid artery, it passes through this sinus.
Yeah.
But name of sinus is
Cavernosus.
Sinus cavernosus. And here is the same sinus cavernosus. In front here, between right and left cavernous sinus, we have intercavernous, anterior and posterior, and from cavernous sinus, blood continues one way through inferior what? This is inferior. Inferior which sinus?